Are you a Dave? Would you like to stop being one? Well, too fucking bad. We're bridges, not miracle workers. But you can at least stop being called a Dave by contributing to this channel via our Patreon. That's right, for only $1 a month, if you want to be a bitch about it, you can stop being called a Dave and get early looks and sneak peeks at upcoming projects. Well, some of you. The Dollar Store patrons only get early access.
Who the fuck ordered a commercial for our Patreon?
Ha ha!
No, seriously, why are we advertising during a one-shot?
Or you can be super badasses like these guys. They help us keep the lights on, hire new editors, and let us do more projects like this one.
Who the fuck are you? And why are you here?
But that's not all. You also get full access to our Discord channel instead of the meager Dave level. And if you want to be a super mega ultra hyper dab on the haters not Dave...
You can't throw random adjectives like that together and call it a sentence!
Ha ha! You wrote it.
And then I deleted it because it hurt my brain to type that crap. Seriously, how did you find it?
They get to know how it all ends and how it's connected. Don't believe me? Ask Angel. He knows the end to LHA and it will blow your mind. A lot like Snoo Snoo.
We did tell Angel and that was the reaction.
So if you don't want to be a Dave and actually want that good shit, become a patron and not a cheap $1 whore patron. Become a champagne patron.
We love all of our patrons just for helping out. The amount isn't what matters. Don't listen to his lies!
The link is in the description below, along with the link to our Discord. Did I mention we have a Discord? 'Cause we have a Discord. It's made of real velour.
Okay, this needs to end right now.
And who's gonna stop it, Dave? You?
You know I meant you, right?
And now back to our program. Don't forget to become a patron today.
Hi, everybody! Why do I hear myself?
Is it my fault?
I don't know.
Hello?
Well, we've already spoiled it.
shouldn't be
Hi,
me.
we have a special guest today. Can you see chemistry?
Chemistry.
There we go. So
Bitches.
we have a special guest. We have a Rimuru here. Everybody say hi to Rimuru. AKA Cat.
Hi, Rimuru.
AKA, I love like Cat is the afterthought. Rimuru is the important part. Yeah. No, everybody say hi to Cat.
No, I'm Rimuru now forever.
Rimuru
That's just
forever.
who I am.
It's just who you be. So
It
we
has been
wanted to
decided.
start. We wanted to start with some good stuff. So I wanted you to tell your embarrassing story once more from your voiceover class today, because that was kind
Oh
of cool.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm in my senior year of college, and I decided to take a voice acting class because I needed one more media class, and I was like, why the fuck not? So we were in a Zoom meeting today, and everybody was kind of like introducing themselves, and basically everybody in the class was like, oh, I haven't had much experience, or I'm new to this, I just wanted to try voice acting, like I don't know shit. So when it came to my turn, I was like, oh, I actually do have experience in voice acting, and I was like, this is my natural voice, it's kind of medium tone, medium energy, but the stuff that I do on YouTube, I'm actually all the way up here. And my teacher just like lost his shit. He like put his hands up in the air and he was like, yes, queen, that's what I like. That's that shit I like. And it was very embarrassing. So that's the story. Hello?
I enjoyed that story.
Thank you.
And I don't know what happened to Richie.
I don't know what happened to Richie either. He hath died.
Richie.
Rest in pieces, Richie.
F and chat for Richie.
F in chat. Near, far, wherever you are.
Ave Maria.
I don't know if they can hear us or not.
Oh no, they can hear us.
Sorry, I had to step away for a second. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was like, I'm sorry, was my story not as funny the second time? Awkward silence. Mm. But yeah, so and then he was like, do it again, and I like panicked. So I was just like, and he was just like, yeah. It was just really funny because I guess he's used to having kids in the class and students in the class that haven't ever done voice acting before. So having somebody that was in it that actually did it, because like I could tell he was holding back a lot and how he was explaining things. He was oversimplifying a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, how is this not general knowledge for people that voice act? And then once we started introducing ourselves, I was like, oh, okay, because they don't. Got it. I'm gonna take another bite of my food now.
You should. I had to go make some. That's why I was away. Or rather, I had to. I had to actually throw something in the microwave real quick because I didn't have time. It was basically record, direct, immediately start anime and stuff.
I'm glad I ate beforehand.
Indeed. All right.
I brought my food home and I got like super delayed because I went to pick up some chairs for my aunt's house. So by the time I got home, it was time to record. And then my mic started shitting on itself, and it was just a whole mess. So I'm finally eating my dinner 2 hours later.
Dude, okay. There was a bit of that happening. I think yesterday. Like people have had mic troubles with the recordings for Slime recently. I'm trying to look into it and see.
Yeah, I think the mic problems that I had earlier were related to my mixer. One of the channels is just decided it doesn't want to work anymore.
Oh, good.
All right. All right. Really quickly, we're gonna move this call from Slime over to anime and stuff. So let's jump over there. There's only one voice channel, so we're jumping in there. And there's a Calvin. And there's a cat. Poof. The cat.
I mean, I said poop, but we'll pretend that I said poof.
Well, I was just going with the idea that your name is Cat Puff, so you must have poofed.
Cat poof.
Mm-hmm.
Cat poof.
Side unrelated story.
Mm-hmm.
My cat is currently sitting very, very close to me and is inching closer and closer every minute.
Because you
trying to like get my food. Yeah.
Yes.
She thinks she's being slick, but she is now completely under my chair, waiting for something to fall.
Opportunistic.
Oh, I fell.
There is a fell.
A wild fell has appeared.
Oh my god, that's another story. When I was in my voice acting class, I turned my webcam off for a minute because I went to grab a drink, and I came back and my cat was like in my headset, and I was like, "Twist, get down." She just goes like into the mic, and my teacher was like, "I'm sorry, what?" I was like, "I'm so sorry, it's my cat." So I like to think I made an impression.
That was confusing for a moment because we were all saying hi to Fell, and then you jumped in.
I'm so sorry.
And I was like, and you were, no, and then Fell jumped in, and you were like, "Oh, that reminds me." I was like, "You had a Fell moment during VA class?" I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but okay.
No.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I hope we've been entertaining so far. I like to think that we are. Evening. Hey, there is a Xenoblaze, aka Bryce. There is a Bryce in the chat. Hello, Bryce.
Hey, Bryce.
Hello.
Hey. So I just thought I'd pop in and say hi for a bit.
Oh
Hi.
boy.
It's slow, but
Very nice.
like I want to take a nap.
I think it was. Let me check my schedule real quick because I had stuff on the schedule. I was looking at earlier. Ugh. It just keeps getting worse and worse. Who was it? Yeah, it was Andrew yesterday. Gelmud. He had to record his stuff for Gelmud, and he had like audio issues galore yesterday. It was it was actually kind of weird. Like you think hearing us over Calvin stuff sometimes is bad. No. His audio interface was glitching from time to time, so he'd say a word and then we'd get a fucking remix of that word. It was like L L L L L L, and I'm just like, okay, this is not the remix I asked for, but it's definitely the remix I got.
Well, that's the thing is like, so like I told Richie, I have a MIDI that I use to plug my mic into to plug into my computer, and normally it works fine, but I put it in my bedroom on my computer because I was going to be loud and I didn't want to be right next to the front door. And I plugged it in and it wouldn't read it at all. And then all of a sudden it started reading it, and then it's like connection, disconnect, disconnect.
Yep.
And I'm on Discord trying to type to people, and like Discord keeps popping up with like, oh, nope, new audio, nope, new audio, nope. So like I couldn't do anything, and I'm just like screaming. My boyfriend's just looking at me as I'm rolling around on the floor trying to figure out why it's not working.
Hold on.
And then finally I just lost it.
Hold on. I gotta find the image for this. A Kotsky roll, log horizon.
My computer's on the ground, so I was like trying to plug it in the back, so I'm just like laying on my side, cracked my head against my desk, and I finally like went out of the room, and I'm like, get this freaking mic out of here. I'll just use the damn USB. Get it out of here before I break it. I was so mad.
Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna share this with you. Is this Cat? Is this you rolling around on the floor today?
Yeah, but also imagine like as I'm doing that, a raptor screech is emanating from within me. And
Technically,
yeah.
Akatsuki is talking during this, but yeah. Essentially, this is Akatsuki. For those of you that are Log Horizon fans, it's the Akatsuki rolling around on the ground bit. There's a small fruit fly got on my mic. And I'm like, I hope you guys can't hear that. All right. Anyway. So yeah, we are going to talk about some stuff. Calvin, this is the first story that you've introduced for the show. So, you know what that means. You introduced it. You got to be the one that talks about it, and we'll give our opinions and stuff.
All right, cool. So, this is a story from comicbook.com. They got some information from Variety, confirming that a new YouTube channel is in the works, and is being backed by like some of anime's biggest studios, including Toei, Kodansha, Nippon Animation, Tezuka Productions, Shine Animation, Shokugan, Sueisha.
This is like
And so
legit shit.
Like this is as real as it gets. So, this YouTube channel is going to be releasing. The ultimate goal is to release 3,000 anime titles between all of these anime studios for viewing for free on YouTube. And every episode, every series is going to be subtitled in English and Chinese as well. So
Did
this is
Did
I'm sorry,
this
go ahead.
just murder Crunchyroll and Funimation?
that's the fall I'm waiting for. Is this the death knell for them? Because like this undercuts the shit out of them.
Yeah. And how does this does this mean more money gets back to how does this affect the whole dubbing thing? Are there people who are going to lose jobs at Crunchyroll, or maybe not? Maybe this could be the reason why Crunchyroll was moving on to webtoon stuff now, you know?
Oh,
That could be a thing.
that's an interesting theory. That's an interesting theory. I guess they were trying to get ahead of
No,
some
Miyuki,
information
you're
they
very
might have
much alive.
come across here. So I read this. I was pretty stunned about this. Like this comes as a huge shock. This came completely out of left field. But as of right now, this YouTube channel, it's called Anime Log, is only available in Japan.
Of course,
but...
it's only available in Japan. Fuck you.
Or
So,
or in America if you have a VPN.
Or in America, which brings us to our sponsor for this video, NordVPN.
NordVPN.
We don't have any sponsors on this channel. Let's be real. All right. Only available in Japan. Well, there's ways around that, kiddos. And that brings us to our sponsor of the day, Raid Shadow Legends, which has nothing to do with it whatsoever. Raid Shadow Legends. God damn it.
And now for the fast talking asterisk.
Yeah, the fast talking.
Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends has no affiliation with Anime and Stuff nor PhatDogStudios.
Anime and Stuff is a what is it, 401c 3 whatever.
Anime and Stuff is a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Till you mean Raid Shadow Damn, you beat me to it, Richie. Yes, I did. Nuke, I'm surprised you didn't have Dave hammered. Aww. Hashtag Richie. Yeah, baby. Raid Shadow Legends. All right. So, guys, I not gonna lie, there's a lot to talk about today. You can't see my tabs, but holy effing crap. Holy stinking super crap. A lot of DC stuff came out 2 days ago, and we're going to talk about it. We're not going to really show it. We're going to leave it up on the screen, but we're not showing it. Richie Lost Paws, a.k.a. Noble, did video on the anime sites just to tell you. Okay, look. We'll check that out soon, but we're kind of like talking about it into the ether. Yeah, I have.
Hey,
I'm kind of concerned. I'm kind of concerned again because I have friends that work at Crunchyroll and I have friends that work at Funimation, and I'm wondering how this is going to affect them. And yes, some of them are voice actors, but some of them are people who just work like on their marketing teams and their translation teams and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, is this good? Is this bad? I don't know how this be, you know? I'm hoping that some of the translators, because they're kind of getting shafted as far as... if you haven't checked it out, translators are getting underpaid. There's a whole video about it. You can look it up on YouTube. It's very important stuff. I highly encourage it. But translators are not getting paid well, considering what all they do.
Yeah, I saw that video. That's horrible, man.
Yeah, it's horrible shit. So, yeah, translators for anime and things like that on Crunchyroll deserve to be paid better. Yes. However, and it's all one fucktard's fault, and this is the same fucktard that wrote that convention manifesto about like how you have to be an alpha male to get pussy at cons. And it's like that dirtbag, that motherfucker. Oh, dude, a decade ago I wanted to string this guy up by his balls, but I couldn't find enough fishing wire, tweezers, and a microscope. Also, hi, Kat.
Hi.
Hello. She's just all quiet and stuff,
right
and I'm like, dude, I'm just insulting this guy as viciously as possible, and I'm getting no feedback from Kat. I'm like, all right.
I'm just listening.
Did Richie already rant? No, I haven't already ranted yet. But essentially, there's...
This was just a warm-up.
Yeah, this is just a warm-up. Actually, this is going to be a lot of positive ranting going on from me today. So, we'll get to it. Kat, I don't know how much of the all the stuff that we're talking about next is stuff that you've watched, but I would...
none of it. The
Oh
answer
my
is none of
goodness.
it.
Oh my goodness.
I am going to be honest, and you might hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge DC fan.
I'm not either.
So
I'm a Batman fan, but I'm not a big DC fan.
Could not care less about Superman, Batman. The only one I care about is Wonder Woman, honestly. So that's the only one I have
Well, here's your good news.
partially seen.
Here's your good news. We're starting with Wonder Woman.
Perfect.
All right. So, all right. Guys, clearly DC fandom happened on Saturday and a bunch of stuff hit, and we're going to talk about some of it because we have the with the new Wonder Woman trailer, we finally got to see the cheetah in her full cheetah type glory. So this is Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, and then we finally got to see her in like her little CG. There we go. That's a much better. Okay, I could keep that shot on right there. Okay, so if you guys are watching the stream, you should see her in all of her cheetah glory. And that was the part I was really looking forward to because I'm like, okay, cheetah, hallelujah, almost time to go to work. Oh no, Squall Leonard, Lionheart. Yeah. But all right, so the new trailer came out. It showed some stuff that was not in the first trailer that came out, and it's weird to think that this is the second trailer. It feels like it's been that there should have been more by now, but I mean, COVID is COVID. But I'm
Did
glad
not
we
realize
finally.
this was the second trailer.
Yeah, well, it is, and
I never saw the first one. I didn't know the first one existed.
and clearly
Good
this one
job.
takes place in 1984. So, yeah. Calvin, you watched it. Give me some of your thoughts and impressions. What'd you think?
So, I'm looking forward to it. 2, this is I'm excited to see Kristen Wiig.
Sorry.
Like,
I couldn't help it.
What the hell?
I'm gonna go now. No.
Rimuru, stop picking on
Oh, boy.
manga.
What did I do?
Yeah, he's a good boy. I mean, aside from creating a religion that just jankily annoys the hell out of Rimuru all the time, nothing really.
But
Oops, spoilers.
Okay, all spoilers aside, though, I remember Kristen Wiig from Saturday Night Live and how great she was during her time on Saturday Night Live, and watching her expand her horizons and getting into more dramatic roles. She's a fantastic actor, and I'm really looking forward to how deep she got with the cheetah character in this movie.
I'm gonna be real with you.
I'm excited.
I'm gonna be real with you. She was the only bright spot that I saw in the disaster that was the 2016 Ghostbusters movie. Straight up, Kristen Wiig was the only bright spot in that entire movie.
I did myself a solid and
character.
didn't watch it.
Oh, you missed a tragedy. But come on, man. You need to watch it. It's like a train wreck. You can't look away.
If I feel like punishing myself one of these weekends, I'll watch it.
Look here,
Maybe
misery needs company.
I was getting ready to say, would you join me if I watched it?
Jump on Skype. I'll stream it with you.
All right.
Literally, I have it. I'll stream it.
All right.
I'll screen share it. We'll make a fucking day out of it. It'll be terrible.
Well, because it'll take all day for us to get through it.
No, it won't take us long to get through it. And also, after that's over, I can show you the actual Ghostbusters 3 trailer that dropped last year, this year. I can't remember. It's all a blur now. It was supposed to come out this summer, but COVID.
I got you.
Cerberus, why are you making a fucking infomercial for a microphone? Anyway, I do agree with you, though, that I'm really loving. I'm really digging seeing Kristen Wiig and like expand her range. Especially once you're playing a villain, because villains get to do so much more stuff than heroes get to do. So I've always said that villains are a lot more fun to play because you could just do more with a villain.
So yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
All right. Any other thoughts about the Wonder Woman trailer? I mean, for me, just seeing Cheetah was like my one big thing that I wanted to see. Everything else was kind of, it was good. It's not underwhelming. It didn't underperform. I think it hit all the notes it needed to, but it wasn't as standout as some of the other things.
I'm wondering if they set that up in the trailer like that for a reason.
That sounds like a connection problem on your end, Cerberus, not on ours. I don't know what to tell you. Chat is. That sounds like it's not a chat thing; it's a video thing, is what that sounds like. That it's so behind. Yeah, I was gonna say it's more like 40 seconds. And to be fair, guys, I think we've got this in ultra low latency. Yeah, we do. We have it in ultra low latency, and it's still like that. So I gotta say, it's not my internet because my internet's fucking amazing. It's gotta be a YouTube thing. I don't know why, but it's definitely gotta be a YouTube thing. Because it was like
blame
that
on YouTube.
Yeah, because I gotta say it's like this with the Doctor Disrespect stream, and he's like, not only does he have that money, but YouTube really would want to put money into making sure his streams aren't too lagged behind. Alrighty, we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so WB Games Montreal. I knew they were gonna have a panel for it. I figured they were announcing a game, and sure enough, they did announce a game. All right, really quickly, the premise is that Bruce Wayne has died, and he sent out a code black, and the first person that you see that's seeing the message is Jason Todd, which is the second Robin, aka oh god, what?
Red Hood?
Red Hood, thank you. It was Red something, but I was like, it's not Red Robin because that's Tim Drake and also a burger franchise. Red Robin. Yum.
Yum.
I think this is a good one. I forgot that they did this. Okay, so this is Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, and she's standing, which is a thing, but you can also see the wheelchair in here. So this is post-experimental surgery that gave her the ability to walk back. So she's back in action as Batgirl.
Okay.
And they made mention of the fact that this is taking place much later because apparently the Gotham City Police Department has not trusted Batman since Jim Gordon died. So James Gordon is dead, apparently, in this. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's a thing that's happening. And then we get to see Nightwing is also being informed. So this is definitely kind of a Bat family. And I know there was some confusion by several people when they saw, they saw the Robin costume here. And they're like, oh, is that Damian Wayne? And I'm like, look at all, like, the chemistry and technology that's sitting around in this little lab-looking place that's there. Clearly that's not Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne was an assassin. That's how he was raised. Tim Drake is the brain. And he's actually Red Robin. But in this one, he's just Robin, I guess. So they're not doing Damian Wayne. And here's another thing for those of you who may have been confused. And it's okay if you got confused. But here's the key. If it's a sword, if the weapon is a sword, it's Damian Wayne. If it's a staff, it's Tim Drake. That's usually the best way to tell. And he's using a staff. Now, from what they were showing in this trailer, it is the four of them, and they all have different abilities. Like, case in point, Tim Drake, and they talked about this in the gameplay trailer, which we're going to show some of. In the gameplay trailer for Tim Drake's character, he is literally going to be using the Justice League satellites. He's hacked his way into the Justice League satellites in order to use short-range teleportation across Gotham. And that's pretty cool. Now, everybody has to kind of set things right in Gotham now that Batman is gone, to keep crime at bay. And this does not take place in the Arkham universe. They did confirm that. It's not a continuation of the story after Arkham Knight. Let's see. The Batgirl has a similar move set to Batman. Of course, you're going to be fighting with guns and stuff. And it seemed pretty cool. I was like, okay, but show me some gameplay. I like... and then they cut to the Court of Owls and Talon. And if you haven't been reading any of your 80s Batman stuff, holy cow, Court of Owls and Talon, that's some good stuff right there. Like, I cannot talk enough about how cool that is. Now, I'm going to let this play in the background a little bit. There's some gameplay. It's like 7 minutes of gameplay. Highly recommend that you check it out. Links are down in the description for all the stuff that we're talking about here, guys. As per usual. Now, Calvin, I screen shared quite a bit of this with you. What were your thoughts?
Well, my initial thought was I really need to familiarize myself with
The Arkham
a lot
series?
of Batman lore because, well, the Arkham series and just a lot of Batman lore in general because I am way behind the mark.
Oh yeah.
Like
wait till we get to the
between
actual
the trailer.
I was gonna say wait till we get to the actual trailer for the movie and I start talking about the Long Halloween. You're not gonna know what the fuck is going on. But the Long Halloween is literally the Batman detective story. Like it takes place over an entire year and it involves his entire rogues gallery. It's effing beautiful.
Or like
Okay, like the death and rebirth.
or like watching the
So like the death and rebirth of Superman and how big of a deal that was literally the Long Halloween, and the Court of Owls actually takes place partially during that as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, man, there's some craziness there. All right. But
like,
keep going.
It did, but like watching the trailer and watching the gameplay footage, it definitely like piqued my inner geek. And so like I definitely want to check out this game. And
it's 2-player co-op. And it is available on PC next year, so the two of us could play this together. And
even
as
better.
you go in and level up, like you can change your outfit to better. So like this isn't the Robin that they were showing in the trailer. This is a much more upgraded Robin. He's actually got like a full cowl. And you can play stealthy, you can just go in and beat everybody the hell up. It's like so yeah. DC
I'm definitely
sucks and
gonna have
Batman
to
will never be DC no matter how much cash is paid to own Batman. New DC Batman might be good. Actually, Cerberus, DC, like, Batman is owned by Detective Comics and has been for like so many decades. So I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Hopefully the PC version will be a better port than the Arkham Knight was on PC. Yeah, hopefully. But Arkham Knight was Rocksteady, not Warner Brothers Montreal, so we'll see. Continue on, Calvin, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I actually have all the Arkham games on Steam. I just need to like sit down and play them one of these days.
Good luck with that Arkham Knight port. That was scary.
How, like, what made it bad, specifically?
Everybody will let you know in the comments, I'm sure. I was gonna say
I'm definitely curious.
Cheetah Pick is not bad in truth. No, you're not wrong, Cerberus. Okay, so Kat, I was gonna ask you about some of your thoughts. It's okay to I just want you to have your honest thoughts.
I don't know. I always had an issue with these types of games in terms of like they just never really held my attention,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm being honest. So like I think the graphics look great. Um Seems like it has pretty fluid gameplay, but other than that, like I don't have much to say in terms of like the story or what I would expect from them and stuff. So
Did you not play any of the Arkham stuff?
no.
Oh,
No.
that's why. Yeah. Okay. Rocksteady. The reason why people loved Rocksteady is because not only did you feel like you were Batman and you got to be Batman, but like it was straight out a Batman story. Like the first one was just the simple idea of what if Batman got trapped in Arkham Asylum with everybody that he'd locked up there, and it was supposed to be the longest night of Batman's life. And so that was the concept, and they made an Arkham Knights, or they made Arkham City, and then to follow up. And so instead of being the asylum, well, they cut off a section of Gotham City, and that became where they just let all the inmates go. And so Batman gets himself put in. Well, Bruce Wayne gets himself put in Arkham City for speaking out against it, and it's kind of an interesting story. I don't want to go through everything that happens in Arkham City, but there's like some really good stuff, and it brings back all of the voice actors from the animated series in the first Arkham game. So everybody that you get Mark Hamill's Joker, you get um Tim Conroy as Batman, Arlene Sorkin is Harley Quinn, at least in Arkham Asylum. After that, it's Tara Strong. But like, there's so much good stuff that's going in there, and it's definitely got that darker Bruce Timm kind of vibe from like Batman the Animated Series. But it also feels a little bit more mature than the animated series. You know,
How
like
so?
I wouldn't let a little kid play this game. Is essentially how I'm getting at it, and you'll see just by some of the ways that the ways that some characters in there will die.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's literally a moment where the Joker's like threatening to just shoot a guy. And he's like, maybe I'll film it and post it on the internet. And I'm like, oh my god. But keep in mind that Arkham. I think it was Arkham Asylum came out in the late 2000s. Arkham City was 2011, and I think Arkham Knight was either 2013 or 14 or 15. I can't remember specifically, but like the other thing, Arkham Knight is literally just open up Gotham. Scarecrow has a new fear toxin, and he's saying everybody better evacuate or he's gonna flood the city with it. So just about everybody's evacuated. Only the criminals are left in Gotham City, and it's basically you've got to stop Scarecrow, but at the same time something's going on because Scarecrow's talking like he might actually know who Batman is, and like there's so much good stuff. Plus, you finally get to use the Batmobile. And I really love how they handle Riddler in Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. Or Arkham City and Arkham Knight. Really like how they use Riddler in Arkham Asylum is just find trophies, solve riddles, and once you've got them all, you basically figure out where Riddler is and give his location to the police. And you get to listen in as he gets caught. Oh god. Okay, let's see. Marcule says, very jumpy on my system, which was definitely above minimum specs. New Batmobile is quite cool. Yeah, the new Batmobile was a lot of fun to drive around once you get to Arkham Knight. Don't forget to turn off Windows auto control on your VM. And then I ended up getting it refunded and have it played it, but thinking about buying it for console. Yeah, I bought it for console. Arkham Knight for PS4. Because I've heard nothing but horror stories about it. You can look it up later. But yeah, going on from there, Kat, any other thoughts?
Nah.
There's some really good stuff going on, especially in Arkham Knight between with Mr. Freeze and his wife Nora, because Mr. Freeze was kind of like almost a gag character until Batman the Animated Series came around, and then they made him like a character you could kind of like. They made him kind of a tragic figure. Like it was like, oh man, this is crazy. So the whole thing about his wife Nora being frozen, and like he's constantly searching for a cure to save her, and then by searching for that cure, he accidentally froze himself, and now he has to wear that suit and everything. That whole thing came about from the animated series, so that became canon. It's funny how much the animated series stuff from the 90s became like comic book canon. Like Harley Quinn wasn't introduced until the animated series in the 90s, and now she has her own comic series. It's just wow how much the medium was changed and influenced by that show. And the games, at least from Rocksteady, were a continuation of that. All right, I think I've gone on enough about this one. This wasn't the game I was really looking forward to, but it's a wait and see for me, honestly, because the last one that WB Games Montreal did in the Batman universe was Arkham Origins, and Arkham Origins was an okay one, but it was nowhere near as good as the Arkham series, even though this one is like a prequel to all of that. It's like the introduction of the Joker and the origins of Harley Quinn and all that going down, while Penguin and I think like the Black Mask and some others are all kind of involved, and it's an early days Batman, very much an early days Batman. But it wasn't as good as some of the others that came out. It felt like it was almost a clone of like Arkham City in a way. So, yeah. Basically, the Black Mask has hired a bunch of assassins to try and kill Batman, and at the same time, Batman's trying to solve some murders. The cool thing about the Batman games is you definitely get the action part of Batman, but you very much get the detective aspect of Batman. You get to play as the world's greatest detective. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. So, yeah. Alrighty.
Right on.
It's a wait and see for me. I'll need to see more, and hopefully it'll be out of pre-alpha build by the next time I see more. Okay. Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. Couple of things to talk about with this. I'm going to say that a lot of the panels, aside from the trailers themselves, were kind of pretty underwhelming. I wasn't really down with most of the panels and stuff that were going on. But the trailers definitely caught my attention. And boy, did they start this one off crazy and different and right. The Snyder Cut is said to be 4 hours long. The Justice League Snyder Cut is 4 hours. And they're talking about releasing them as 4 hour-long episodes on HBO Max, and then eventually a full 4 hour version that rumor is going to be in black and white.
Really?
Oh, Cerberus is like, there's a 5-minute lag. Turns out he was 5 minutes behind. He hadn't clicked live. I was fixing to say
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. All right, so it starts off with Darkseid. There's a statement punch right there. I'm not digging the song choice just because if I can't say why, but I've been working with Hallelujah a lot lately. And this version that's almost spoken word at this point, like, irks my ears so much. It's like, dude, if you were going to get Hallelujah, get the original version, dude. Just don't. Not this version. This version hurts my ears. But I'm loving all the stuff that I'm seeing. And, I mean, they put it in the trailer, so we're going to talk about it.
He's beautiful.
Oh, the Darkseid?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so we're looking at the destruction of the Justice League, and they're saying that this card that flows by right here, there's this card that's floating by. Yep, that's a Joker card. And it's like all damaged and destroyed. So I'm like, oh, okay. That's cool. We get Black Suit Superman. Looks like we're getting a lot more. Yeah, there we go. We're getting a lot more about Flash and Cyborg this time. They're getting their own arcs. and she was completely cut out, by the way. Iris West. So Iris West actually is going to be in this version, and we get a lot more looks at Lois and Martha Kent. Okay, this is the part that really surprised me because Miles Dyson survived, and I'm making that reference, but in the theatrical version that was released, Cyborg and his father were both Silas and Victor Stone were both alive, and in this trailer, Silas dies. He is disintegrated by the mother box, and holy shit! Just knowing that alone changes this movie completely. I'm sitting here thinking, just from watching this trailer, how much of this movie got cut away when I can clearly say it was about two and a half, maybe more hours. I don't know. Or at least 2 hours worth of footage was just not used. So that's a whole shit ton of story. So what I'm understanding is we only got half of the movie in the theatrical release. So I'm kind of curious to see how this works. And Steppenwolf looks hell of a lot better in this version. I gotta say, that is a much better looking version of Steppenwolf right there than what we got. Also, it's gonna be really nice to watch Justice League without a CG lip on Superman's face to try and get rid of the mustache that they wouldn't let him shave off. Because he was doing Mission Impossible and he had to have a big sprucey mustache and they wouldn't let him shave it off to do the reshoots for Superman.
Huh.
Which is just dumb. Let's see. More Flash. And then this shot right here. I think this is the shot that really sums it all up. There's all 6 of them standing together. And the plane is coming for them at the end so they can go back. And then hashtag the Snyder Cut. And then we get some dialogue at the end. And we get a much more serious Batfleck. Which we're going to talk a bit more about Batfleck stuff. But I mean, that's a 2.5 minute trailer right there. That had a lot of content in it. Calvin, did you watch the original Justice League that came out in 2014?
We spoke about that the other day. I never saw it.
Oh.
I mentioned to you that I hadn't seen it. I should probably watch it before the Snyder Cut comes out. And you were like, no.
You
told me no.
In a way, yes, but also in a way, no. Well, I'm saying yes now because if you're gonna watch Ghostbusters, you might as well watch the non-Snyder Cut too. You should watch the Whedon cut and just be like, "What the shit is this?" And I can be like, "Yeah, man." Yeah. All right. So we're just gonna have a day of like eye rolling with Calvin. We're gonna find out a day that we can do this. Maybe we'll do it on like a Thursday. I don't know. I mean, it's not going to be a thing that the audience has to be involved in, so we can I just need to make sure we pick a day where you and I aren't doing something like streaming, like a Final Fantasy thing.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we could take a Saturday and skip Final Fantasy and chill. And
we need Final Fantasy and chill. Don't you cut out the chocobos.
Okay, fair. Okay, I retract my statement.
Kat, any thoughts?
I don't even know why I'm here.
Entertainment value.
I really hate Batman. I'm sorry. So I have no interest in Batman or Superman content. Because I don't know how to explain it. Just because I just when I imagine Batman, I imagine this super rich dude who's like, I'm bored. I'm gonna put on tights and go punch guys. And I just don't.
It's
Just
not
don't
boredom.
care.
It's not boredom that did that. It's the law.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's-
They caught my parents. That's why. Listen, buddy. His superpower is money.
Well, all right. So here's the thing. He lost his parents when he was very young. I lost my
Yes.
parents when I was very young, so I guess I can kind of relate. Well, I lost a parent when I was very young, so I guess I
mean-
can kind of relate.
So like I saw the new Joker movie, and I kind of liked how they put Batman in perspective there, like when he was a kid. That made me feel a little less hatred towards him, but it's still not a character that I give any type of a shit about.
Right.
So and then the same thing with like Superman. I don't know. I saw the really bad Superman movie that came out in like 2015 or something.
Wait, which really bad Superman movie?
It was I'm trying to remember which one
Man
it
of
was.
Steel?
Yes.
That wasn't actually a really bad one. It just wasn't the one that everybody was. You're like,
To
you
me?
gotta realize it wasn't Superman being a Boy Scout, and I'm actually okay with that.
That's not what my problem. Well, okay. So since we're getting into it, I had a bad taste in my mouth for that movie to begin with because they put the wrong movie on when we went to see it.
Oh.
And so we were like 40 minutes late starting the movie that we went there to see.
Oh.
And I'm just skeptical in the sense that it's like, oh, all this action, and like my friends were like, oh, it's so cool, and all I could think about was like, he just killed so many people. Like, well, there goes 15,000 people. It's fine. It's cool. And I don't know. It's just I don't like movies like that where it's like, yeah, we did it. And it's like, yeah, and it only cost like half the nation's lives. Woo. I don't know.
Two of the biggest complaints that they had was him killing Zod. They're like, Superman doesn't kill. I'm like, no, he does. He's not Batman. He doesn't have a code against it. It's just he'd prefer not to. But if he has to, he can. And then second,
I don't know.
And then second was damage, the amount of damage and stuff that took place, and like death toll.
So like, this is sort of unrelated. So like, I saw the movie Brightburn, which is like the anti-Superman, and I really liked that movie for some reason.
Kind of film, yeah.
Because it was this little kid that was just like, I'm gonna fuck everybody up, and I can appreciate that.
Speaking of James Gunn, I don't think I put this in there, but James Gunn is doing the new Suicide Squad, and they did it behind the scenes. I'm not showing that because I think I'd get in trouble if I did. But there's a behind the scenes thing, and they've got John Cena in there as this character called Peacemaker, and he described it as a really douchey Captain America.
Love it.
Yeah. There's literally a character in there called Polka Dot Man. And they have James Gunn's brother Sean Gunn coming back. Instead of playing Rocket the Raccoon, he's playing the Weasel.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's literally a fucking sentient weasel. A giant sentient weasel that is evil.
Ratchet and Clank, is that the right reference?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think of like, it's like the guy and then he has like a weasel friend, and I'm trying to think if it's Ratchet and Clank. I don't think it is. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't think it is either. No.
Anyway. That's my
robot.
take on it. It's a hot take, I guess, because I know a lot of people are avid like DC and Marvel superhero fans. I like X-Men. I will admit
Batman.
I like X-Men.
I like Batman specifically just because of
Jack
the fact
and
that
Daxter. That's it.
Jack
Thank
and
you.
Daxter. I like Batman specifically because he's not a fucking superhero. Like the fact that you're like he's rich, and I'm like, yeah, that's helpful, but that's not all of it. Like,
sorry, like I said, for me, it's like superheroes in general have always been like a funny concept to me. So just imagining this man with no superpowers running around in tights, just like, I am the knight, and just like punching people. Like, I don't know, it's just really funny to me, and I'm just like, all right.
Well,
and I know that the story is way more serious than that. And I know that the story is more serious, and I probably should give it a chance. I just don't have the patience.
All right, going back to the Arkham universe, because, I'm the only one that's experienced that. Calvin, we'll try and work on that. This takes place after Arkham Knight, but this time it happens in Metropolis, and this is Brainiac. destroying Metropolis, right? Well, the whole thing is basically, oh look, there's Harley Quinn being a goofball as she do, trying to get some pizza, and then it gets blown up, and she's like, "We lost the target." If you don't know what Task Force X or Suicide Squad is, I highly recommend reading up on that so that you know, or at least checking out some of the animated universe stuff. Um, Suicide Squad is a group of criminals that will do the bidding of one Amanda Waller after she has placed microchips with bombs in them inside their heads in order to make sure they do as they're told. In exchange, they are released to do specific jobs for her in return for getting years shaved off of their sentences. And so that's what the Suicide Squad is essentially. It's made up of Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, and an assortment of others. But usually those three are the mains. And so the guy on the screen right now, that's Captain Boomerang. You can see in the background there's Harley Quinn. There's Deadshot right there. And this time they have King Shark.
I love him.
I love it too. It's just a lot of fun. Like this
That's
was
my
a
future
fun
husband
trailer.
right there.
This is made by Rocksteady. King Shark is your future husband?
Yes.
He's gonna bite your effing head off, but okay.
Perfect.
It's like you
To
call
be
him-
honest, great.
That is her kink.
That is her king. We're in
If
the
that's
guild.
the way
There's
I go, that's the way I go.
We're in the guild. There's no shaming here. Oh, also, on top of being Rimuru, I probably should have also pointed out that you're the psychopath Sarah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's that. I also, all right, going back real quick, I love that there's like a Batman balloon, like a Batman party balloon, because why wouldn't there be? And he's about to pop it. That's great. So, anyway, Brainiac has taken over. They're fighting Brainiac henchmen, or Brainiac monsters and stuff. And they're trying to figure out who their alpha target is. You go through the whole thing when you see there's a helicopter coming in that gets destroyed. And let me see if I can back up a little bit. It happens really, really fast. Yep. Okay.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to leave. My boyfriend has to go to bed because he has work at 6 in the morning.
Gotcha. Thanks for sticking
But
around.
thanks for
man.
having me.
Wow.
Okay,
So-
have fun.
Appreciate you hanging
Bye.
And something flies in and
Nice.
destroys this helicopter, and you're like, oh man. And then you see Superman there holding the pilot. And I love that King Shark sees him and he's like, oh, the mighty Superman has saved that pilot. And then, no, turns out Superman just lasers the pilot and he destroyed and you get a close-up look and Superman is under Brainiac's thrall. And that's when at least 3 members of the Suicide Squad realize just who their alpha target is, and it is Kal frickin' L. And I love that what happens here is that Boomerang comes over and goes, so, did you figure out who the alpha target is? And I'm just going to play this. I'm going to let this play out right here. You don't hear it, and then they all point at Superman. And I love that. He turns and looks and sees Superman, and what he goes, oh, fuck! And he starts to say fuck, and then they cut him off. And I'm like, yes! That's my kind of game. So just, even though this is very, very, no gameplay, it's just a trailer, I'm actually hyped for this game. This looks like a lot of fun. I don't want to go into too much. Apparently, Boomerang can teleport to his Boomerang, so instead of his Boomerang coming back to him, he goes to his Boomerang. I'm like, okay. But there's a lot to like in this. I honestly like this a bit more than the stuff I saw for behind the scenes with the Suicide Squad movie. But, I mean, it wasn't a trailer. It was just behind the scenes. Maybe when we see a trailer, it'll be a bit different. And you know what? I've got faith in Sean Gunn anyway. So, but like, man, this was just a lot of fun to watch. Even if it was just like, even if all that Rocksteady did was just make these little CG trailers, I'd be down for it. Like, that's, like, they kind of like summed up what Task Force X / Suicide Squad is in just this short time. Also, I want to go ahead and go back to one little part in here that I noticed that was pretty cool when they're fighting. There we go. 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 Okay, gotta get. If you guys notice, there's a big belly burger right there. Now, there we go. Just a nice old big belly burger. For those of you that watch like I don't know how ingrained Big Belly Burger is into the DC continuity. I didn't start hearing it until Flash on the CW, but now I can never unhear it. So yeah, Big Belly Burger. I just thought that was kind of a nice touch there. But yeah, it's the name of the game is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. So essentially, you have to kill the Justice League. And I'm down. I'm down for this. This sounds like a lot of fun.
It does sound pretty promising. Well, at least from the trailer, anyway.
All right, now we're gonna go and Ted and talk about the thing that everybody's talking about, like the thing that stole the show. Let's talk about the Batman trailer. All right, first off, I want to say holy fucking shit. Not just because of the trailer, but like the fact that you were able to make a trailer so good and so engaging and so interesting with only 25% of the movie having been filmed. Holy shit, dude. And I'm also going to say, even though I know you didn't see it, Calvin, this panel was one of the few where I wasn't like sitting there waiting and going, yeah, hurry up and show the fucking trailer. I was actually interested in what Matt Reeves was saying when he was talking about this. It was actually pretty interesting what was going on and what was being said. And I was kind of nerding out while he was talking about Batman and kind of nerding out about it too. Because he was talking about, like, you know, this is influenced by, like, film noir movies from the 70s. And even though he says that, I very much got a vibe of, like, Seven. Like, this felt like Seven to me. You remember that movie in the 90s? That kind of crime noir movie, Seven?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with Morgan Freeman and fucking Brad Pitt. Yeah. I got vibes of that from this trailer. You know? So I'm definitely looking forward to that because it's feeling very much like a more of a thriller detective stuff, especially with where they're going with Riddler on this. It's like, oh, that's a nice take. I like where this is headed. And again, I've got him on the screen right here. I like how he looks in the Batsuit. I think Robert Pattinson looks good as Batman. I'm not truly digging him as Bruce Wayne, but, you know, it is what it is. Again, it's year 2 Batman, so there's lots of stuff to work on. Let's see, right there. I'm not digging that version of Bruce, but this may be before he learns to, like, become the billionaire playboy and put on that role, because Bruce is essentially Batman is who he is, and Bruce Wayne is kind of like the mask he puts on, you know? And maybe he hasn't learned to put that on. And Matt Reeves was talking about, like, hey, it's still early on. He hasn't learned to really be Batman. I feel like it's not just Batman. He hasn't learned how to be Bruce Wayne yet, too. So I like the idea that he hasn't fully formed those things. And Matt Reeves is doing a Batman trilogy. So this is the first in the trilogy. And this definitely has undertones of the Long Halloween in it, too. And I'm interested in seeing if they're going to do the Long Halloween story, because it's such a good story. A lot of the Frank Miller stuff I would say check out. But, yeah, Long Halloween's just fucking phenomenal. As we continue through this, there is the part that everybody really enjoyed, which is, right here, the beatdown. Just whap. This is a brutal Batman, and he is having none of your shit. He did a solid ground and pound right there. And I love that everybody is expecting, and myself included here, everybody was expecting him to say, I'm Batman. And he said, I'm vengeance. And I dig that. And then heard his voice. So I'm going to turn the volume on just so you guys can hear the voice.
I'm vengeance.
That's a good Batman voice right there. That is a very good Batman voice. Holy crap, guys. That was super, super, super nice. I am excited to see where this goes. There's no overtones of freaking the voice that Christian Bale used as Batman, which sometimes was kind of hard to understand what he was saying, and you felt like you needed subtitles. And even though I understand why the tech and everything for older Bruce Wayne for Ben Affleck's version, I'm kind of glad that they don't use that here. And I'm digging the Batman logo that they have here as well. I like how it kind of formed into, it slowly started morphing into the letters, the Batman, and like you had the little Batman ears on the A. Really kind of like the overall aesthetic of this, I really enjoyed it. Now, you watched the trailer, and you don't have to know a lot about Batman, but I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are, Calvin.
Like you mentioned, don't know a whole lot about like Batman Year One or any of like the Frank Miller Batman, but like just looking at this trailer, just like you speaking upon like the aesthetics, like the grit, like the overall feel, and also like I'm definitely into it, but I think you and I both like agreed early on that Rob Pattinson was a good decision as Batman here, and really starting to shape up in this trailer, like how we're feeling about it. And what's really funny, like looking at all the reactions from my friends on Facebook, like they were all like, "Well, shit, we were absolutely wrong about Robert Pattinson. We stand behind him now." And I'm just looking at them like, y'all got sullied by him being fucking what's his face from Twilight. Like that was fucking 12 years ago. Like actors grow. So I'm absolutely excited about this. Can you still hear me? Am I still here? Hello? I'm not sure if I can be heard. Oh, wait.
You can be heard.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of silence there. Okay.
Sorry, apologies. I had to run to the restroom real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of I can hear you, Calvin. Yeah,
Okay.
I apologize. I had to quickly run to the restroom. That's half of why I turned it over to you and was like, just go.
Okay.
All right, what I miss?
Okay, TLDR. I like the aesthetic. Nice and gritty.
Mm-hmm.
You and I both agreed early on Robert Pattinson was a good decision as Batman.
I think so too, and I think we go through this every time with Batman and also with Joker. Guys, don't forget. Well, some of you may have been too young to know this, but at the time when Heath Ledger got cast as Joker, there was backlash for it. They were like, "Really? The guy from 10 Things I Hate About You? Really?" Like that guy. There was backlash on it. There was backlash when not when Christian Bale was cast, because nobody was really checking out Batman Begins. Batman Begins kind of put Batman back on the map in the 2000s. But when Ben Affleck was cast, there was backlash on that, and he turned out to be a good Batman. So, I'd say kind of chill. Like, yes, Twilight is what it is, and nobody hates Twilight more than Robert Pattinson, believe me. But they didn't cast him because of his work in Twilight. They cast him because of his other work. And Robert Pattinson is one of those chameleon type actors. Like, he can disappear into a role to the point that you wouldn't recognize him. Robert Pattinson's really good at stuff like that. Like, he's an actor's actor. There's a lot you can learn from him if you're trying to get into acting. Just in general, it doesn't matter whether you're getting into voice work, on camera, stage, whatever. There's plenty to study from, like, a lot of the stuff that he does there. And I've seen him pull off a Bruce Wayne type character. In other movies. So trust me when I say this, holy crap. And I've seen him be fucking downright scary with violence. And it's just, I'm really looking forward to it because I'd seen other stuff. Imagine being judged for a film that you did 12 years ago that was going to be a successful teen movie. It was a successful teen franchise movies series thing. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just, it's stupid, guys. There's no need for that. So, I mean, I was really shocked and I was very surprised and I was very happy and I was very excited to see what this was, and I had a lot of hope for this, and I was super happy to not be disappointed by what I had seen. Before we had just a question, now we have a few answers, but they've still got to get back into production, and that means, you know, this whole pandemic has to work its way through, I guess, the system of the world before we can jump back into it, but it's still scheduled to come out next year, and I am totally down to see it. Like, technically, we would be seeing this movie, if it wasn't for the pandemic, we'd be seeing it either, I think it was either this month or October. I can't remember when it was originally scheduled, but the Batman was scheduled to be released relatively soon. If we'd be gearing up to watch this instead. Instead of talking about a trailer or a teaser rather. But this is how they ended DC Fandom, and I really liked how they did it. Like, this was definitely how you end it. Holy cow, man. But tell me what you guys thought in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions, whether you're in the live chat or whether you're checking us out later. I want to see what you guys thought of all this stuff. Now, I know I didn't cover everything, but there was so much, and I knew it was going to take us a while, so we had to get through it. But thank you guys for sticking in there, and let me know what you thought about our opinions, or I guess in this case, mostly mine. Most of the people that could have talked with weren't here, sadly. I was hoping like maybe Eva could have joined us, because she's got some, you know, she's got that knowledge. That knowledge. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. We'll be back next week with some more news, hopefully quite a bit more news. I am curious about that whole YouTube channel thing and how that's going to impact the industry. I'm curious about that. But so thank you for bringing that to our attention, Calvin. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was I saw that and I figured that will be is something great to touch upon tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I only wish there were more of us to really talk about it. Because,
I do too. Because
that was huge.
Yeah, that's going to have
a potential
major
game changer.
repercussions. Yeah, for the industry. All right, guys, this is Anime and Stuff, where the show where we talk about anime and stuff. We'll see you next week. Bye bye for now.
Have a good night.